There is another me, but he got matching bolts. His stitches are even. He doesn't smell like unused fields.
Well, that's Frankie 2.0, built using Salesforce actual official framework.
I am Frankie 2.0. I am trusted, easy, and adaptable. I hate him already.
Frankie, do not hate him, learn from him. Let's talk about the well-architected framework and why it's basically the instruction manual nobody read before building you the first time.
Okay, so what is that framework exactly? Is it a rulebook, a cert, a vibe?
It's Salesforce's own official, opinionated guidance for designing healthy solutions on the platform. Not a certification, not a product, just a structured set of architectural principles. It's organized around the three core capabilities: trusted, easy, and adaptable. And crucially, Salesforce actually ranks them. Trusted comes first, always. A trusted solution is secure, compliant, and reliable. And it's described as the one capability that's never tradable. If a design choice would compromise security or reliability, that choice is wrong. Full stop, regardless of what a deadline says. Easy comes second, intentional, automated, and genuinely usable design that delivers business value quickly. Adaptable comes last, deliberately, because you can only responsibly invest in flexibility you don't need yet once the first two are solid.
I am Frankie 2.0. I was built trust first. I was built deadline first. We are not the same. How is this actually different from just best practice, which every architect claims to already follow?
The framework goes several layers deeper than a generic best practices list, which is exactly why that's why it is useful for real architecture conversation. It breaks down into capability, behavior, dimension, and consideration. So try to think trusted as a capability, which breaks into behavior like secure, which breaks into dimensions like data security, which breaks into concrete specific consideration like avoid circle in loop. Also a generally used tool called the Pattern and Anti-Pattern Explorer. It is hosted on architect.salesforce.com, where you can look up real patterns to follow and real anti-patterns to avoid for a given topic. And most experienced architects actually recommend starting with the anti-pattern list first, since it's shorter, more concrete, and usually points directly at where the actual problems are hiding.
So, instead of trying to be good, it's here is the exact bad thing you are doing, named specifically. Ouch, useful, ouch. Can I actually use this on an existing Franken org, or it is only useful when you are starting completely fresh?
This is actually where it's most valuable, retroactively. Let's take everything from tech dev audit this season. The vibe coded automation, the zombie workflow rule, the 11 Apex triggers, the 418 unused fields, and you can map every single one of them finding directly into frameworks language. Weak access controls and unreviewed automation map straight to the trusted pillar. Undocumented ownership and unclear naming map to easy intentional behavior. Rigid, hard-coded logic that can't survive a hyperforce migration or an org merger map to adaptable. Reframing your audit finding in this shared vocabulary is genuinely powerful when you are presenting to management or a design authority board, because it's the same language Salesforce own review board use when evaluating architecture.
So my whole messy backstory isn't wasted. It's just a really thorough before picture for the framework's after photo. Last one. If you could give past me one piece of advice before I got built the chaotic way, what it would be?
Document the way before you build the how. Every anti-pattern we have dug up in this entire season tracks back to the same root cause. A decision got made under pressure. It solved the immediate problem and nobody wrote down the reasoning behind it. 6 months later or 6 years later, a new architect looks at the result with zero context and has to guess. The well-architect framework isn't really about having specific answer on day one. It is a shared vocabulary that forces you to articulate trade-offs out loud. to a team before you commit to them. The single habit, writing down the why, not just shipping the what, would have prevented more of this season's horror story than the single technical fix.
I am Frankie 2.0. I have a Confluence page explaining every decision I have ever made. I have a Slack thread from 2021 that just says, ship it, we will fix it later. We are not the same. Season finale lab notes. 1. Salesforce well-architected framework is built on 3 ranked pillars. Trusted first, easy second, adoptable third. And trusted is never up for negotiation. 2. It goes deeper than generic best practices, breaking down into capability, behavior, dimension, and concrete consideration, with a real pattern and anti-pattern explorer tool to back it up. 3. It's just as useful retroactively on a messy legacy org as it is on a fresh build. Every horror story this season maps directly into it. And 4. Single biggest lesson from this entire season is document the why, not just the what. That's wrap on season 1 technical depth autopsy. This has been Frankie's lab notes and also my closing statement in a very complicated relationship with my own body depot.
That wraps up season 1. Next season, we go straight into Lock and Key, starting with a story about the ghost who was never invited in the first place. See you there.